I've had other people that have been sick for over 20 years, literally half their lifetime or more. Get the oxygen going, get the toxins dumping, and they're not back to where they would like to be, but they see that they can get better. And this is where a lot of my folks, they get the literature on this is what you need to do at home. You don't come here and get emptied out and then just don't worry about it for the rest of your life. We are literally surrounded. I mean, we are awash in a sea of toxins. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, when I started this, there was something like 86,000 chemicals in production in the world. According to a Lancet article in 2018, there's now 112,000 chemicals in active production, 5,000 in heavy production, which means tens to hundreds of tons a year being produced. For every man, woman, and child in the United States, 500 pounds of chemicals are being produced on a daily basis. Not to mention the toxic metals, the molds, and the EMFs.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think, in terms of differentiating LiveO2 from, the hyperbaric is, as a physician, sending home and setting your patients up with the ability to take care of themselves for the long run.
Oh, yeah. It's not just my patients, it's just anybody over the age of 40. I mean, you are building this, you've built this stuff, accumulated this stuff since you're a kid. And if you really want true longevity, if you want true efficient energy utility, oxygen is the key. 3 things that I would have: LiveO2, some form of lymphatic drainage, and a sauna. You do those 3 things, you're going to do so much for your longevity and your health overall that you cannot even come close to doing with home hyperbarics. Besides the fact that you've got to have 2 people to do hyperbarics appropriately, because you're going to be inside the thing and somebody on the outside's got to run it.
Yeah, hyperbarics are not, very effective, or I'll call it appropriate for at-home use, just because of the self-administration. You got a footprint, exactly. You got to get inside, you got to, pressurize it, spend the time in and get out. It's just, the complexity where with what happens
if something goes wrong while you're in the chamber?
Right. You have to depressurize and exit. I mean, by comparison, my kids.
If you're even aware that there's a problem going on before it kills you.
Well, it's just to go back to the LiveO2 simplicity. My children have been self-administering LiveO2 since they were 10 years old. A 10-year-old, they hop on and they work out, etc.